All right, everybody, welcome back to Minifandom. Minifandom is on a golden run, had a great episode last time with Kate, and now joining me, and I'm reticent to use this phrase, but I will, the white whale that I've been trying to get for many, many months, Nurse Kim. Finally, welcome to Minifandom. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Menace. Thank you so much for having me to greet a woman as the white whale. I just, love to hear it right off the bat, feeling very Minifan adjacent.
Exactly. It's so great to have you on the show. We've been trying to do this for a while. You were a little reticent at first, but then after soccer, you reached out to me and said you're feeling confident about your Minifandom. So perfect time to get you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first time that you slid into those DMs, Manners, was sometime last fall. And I said, absolutely not. No, thank you. Just because it was very nice of you to ask, but I was too new to everything, to KMS, to the Minifan network. And I didn't feel as though I could have represented or had anything to say that anyone would give a shit about. They still don't, and I get it. But I know my things now.
Good. And can you just put on record, when I slid into your DMs, they weren't creepy at all. I get this reputation for sliding into Mina ladies' DMs. They were very above board.
Yeah, I mean, besides the sexual harassment and telling me that I looked so good and that you really wanted to put me on a show. Yeah.
That is a lie. All right. So before we get into the meat of Minifandom, we start every show with taking care of business. Okay. So a few things, a huge reaction to Kate's appearance on the show last time. A great Mina lady. People are saying, oh, what's going on, man? Is you just getting on women now? Well, we have Bitches Week, scheduled for not that far away on the main show. I'm using Minifandom as a bit of a trialing ground, give a few Mina ladies a bit of a run around and see how they do. Obviously, Nurse Kim's a little different because she's a star content creator, but men, women are both welcome on Minifandom. So there'll be plenty of, fat, balding, middle-aged men coming back on the show soon. Montante for a start. Wow, that hair is, how horrifying is that hair in person?
It's terrifying, Menace. It looks like, this is all, it's a fake. I'm fake. All of it is fake. And, I'm basically just frizzy. And if you saw the back, you would just want to throw up. So yeah, it's not a good look.
All right. So the other little bit of business is I've had to make changes to Mena's Live this week, and I've actually, I don't know if you're aware, Kim, but I've fired John from Scranton as the producer of Mena's Live, and it sounds worse than it is. Like that, oh, he's fired. It's not a Donald Trump, you're fired situation. It's just creative differences. John's going off in one direction and I'm going off in another direction, and the directions aren't really aligned. So, I just feel it's better to move on. So I'll give you a few of the reasons. Firstly, I am disillusioned with KMS, the main show, and therefore doing Mena's Live where you're reacting to the bits of the show maybe isn't the best thing for my mental health at the moment. Kim, I'm a little bored with the show. That's all. Yeah. This week, Carl's dumb again because he can't guess properly. Let's talk about another golf game. I'm not going to say the show's bad. I am just quite bored with it. I'm still listening because I'm addicted, and I'm not going to lie and say I'm going to stop listening, but I'm just a little bored with it at the moment. So I don't think it's the right time to be jumping on and doing a show where you're talking about what happened that week. I think Minifandom's a lot healthier. We can talk about the show in whole and the fandom. So that's the first thing. I'm just, a bit cold on Mena's Live. But if you want to replace John as producer, do reach out because I'll do the odd one. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you need me as a replacement producer, I'd love to. I know nothing about producing. I just hit the StreamYard button and go live on my shows. But if you need any,
that's basically what I need. That's basically what I need.
That's me.
So listeners, Nurse Kim, anyone interested in filling in for John, do it.
Perfect.
The second thing with John is, he's just now on every other network show, and it's like having him on Mena's Live has kind of lost its uniqueness. We had a really good run where he wasn't doing any other shows apart from Meeting of the Minds, and but too much John is a bad thing. He's on Hot Wieners. He's on Stein Time. He just likes to pop up in every show. And that's not a criticism, but it's just a creative decision that I want Menners Live, if I'm going to do it, to be a little bit unique. So
I get it. Especially when you have Menners Minutes and Menners Live. And I mean, Menners popping up in Kane's Kitchen. I mean, who wants to see the same face again and again?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Don't give me that sarcasm. The point is, how do I differentiate Menners Live to the other shows if it's just John turning up with the same takes he gave on Hot Wieners or Stein Time? So that's another. And then the third reason is John's a disloyal piece of shit. His best friend from Scranton was like sending out my ex-wife's name and phone number last weekend, but John's not going to do anything about that. John's still going to have that piece of shit on his show. He's still going to take his calls, and I'm not going to do a Matt Carano or a BA and say to John, you can't associate with him. If John wants to be disloyal, that's fine. He's always been a disloyal piece of shit. He will admit it. I just don't think it's the right time for us to do a show together. So that's where I'm at with John. Good luck to him. He's still, working with me on the network. This is not a case where I'm really angry at him or I want to, people have reached out to me, Sean Wick, Stein. It's a bad mistake. You should fight with John on Menners Live, but I just think it's better sometimes when you're just not matching him to just go your separate ways.
Menners, I support you. And I support whatever decision that you need to make for yourself, for your product, your content. And if someone's bringing you down, who am I to ever tell you where you need to go? Right?
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that.
Of course.
So we're 7 minutes in. How are you feeling about your first piece of KMS content? Are you nervous?
I am nervous. I get nervous because, there's a tiny, adorable koala just right on the screen with me. Okay.
Definitely.
I fear the men from Australia due to recent circumstances and the World Wide Web. But, we are pushing along, and for anything for me to just get in here, dip my toe in, and then I will bid you all adieu.
Well, the great thing about the Minifans, the Minifandom, this show, it's a great escape. It's a great escape from reality. It's a great escape from your Karen Reed adventures and your true crime career. All Minifans are created somewhat equal. Somewhat. I don't think completely. So tell me, Kim, what's the Nurse Kim origin story with your Minifandom? When did you first start listening to the show?
Well, Menners, I don't know if you know, but Cully 4.0 was just a baby, and he was only Cully 2.0 back when I began my stint into KMS and KMS main show. So it was 2024, I think April, and Cully and I met on TikTok, and we were covering the same thing. And he's a one-man show, and it was very interesting because how it came about that he slid into my DMs and said, "You dumb bitch, we need to do a duet." And I said, oh. And so we did, and it was live from there. And instantly he's funny. And I'll tell you this, Menners, that is why I say to you all the time, you're bad on your takes with Cully, because him on air or on doing content live is fucking 10 out of 10. The man is magic. He's dumb magic. He's a 9.5 without a brain. He is the opposite of a supermodel, right? Men want to show me your tits and shut up. I want Dave to show me his tits and shut up. All right. That hairline, the jawline, Dateline did him dirty, so dirty. And it brought me so much joy. But I'm sorry, back to the Minifandom and back to where my origin was. I'm sorry, I squirreled.
No, we don't want to get to go, but keep going.
Yeah, no. So we started doing that, and he said, I produce on Kirk Minahan show. And I was like, Kirk Minahan, I know Kirk Minahan. I'm thinking WEEI days, but I'm not watching sports radio or listening to anything anymore. And he was like, oh no, it's on Barstool. So I jumped in and very quickly tried to turn it off. And then I was like, well, let me just see what they're saying. And Cullinane will tell me anytime he texts me, you're in too deep, bitch. So there's a lot of love there.
Okay, so Cullinane brought you in, and then you just got addicted like everybody else.
Addicted, yeah.
What about Kirk? You said you'd heard of him before. Is that it? You just literally just heard the name?
Well, no. So, of course, like Boston lore and legend, and had huge presence, radio. And then actually, I knew about the case before I knew about KMS, because I had listened to the case season 2, Sandra Birchmore, but then I went back and watched and listened to season 1. But I knew him from that. I was like, that absolutely makes sense to me, and I knew exactly who he was from that. So it was kind of, I was thinking he was more doing true crime stuff or more case stuff at that time, and then to find out he has this incredible podcast since 2019 was awesome.
Right, and you're just listening to every episode now.
Yeah, I am.
Good. All right, that's fantastic. So, relatively new listener coming in, a year and a half ago. But that, what do you like about the show?
The dysfunction. Okay, if you remember, my first best friend. Okay. Now I know that that was in like, I think September or whatever of 2024, but that was the first time, because I was listening and listening and listening. But when I realized that the psychological makeup of Justin and the psychological makeup of Cully and the psychological makeup of Kirk was magic. And I was like, oh my gosh, from that moment on, I was like, I want to call Justin. I'm going to need to unpack this with him later. He, pays his therapist. The therapist is really only discussing Patriots games with him. I need to actually get into the root of his trauma. Yeah. Justin's trauma.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is now?
Well, so I think Mammy, really set him up for a lifetime of searching for love in food and in women. Okay.
Wow.
And I know that's bold. It's bold. It's a bold take, but you find the man, selling food. Okay. At places, any place that will allow him to sell said food. And then, he finds Mary, God bless her. But where is this going? What is happening? And has he filled the void?
Wow, interesting. Because I just think he's a spoiled brat. That's all. Well,
he's never been the same. Never been the same since he was a junior in high school, in my opinion.
So you think Mammy did it to him, his grandmother?
It was Mammy. It was his first best friend. Okay.
Wow, you have been deep diving into this. The heartbreak of Mammy. You know what's good for you? So, listeners, it's great to have you all with us on Minna Fandom. I'm Manners, of course. That's a reset for those on the radio business. Just like what I think is funny, Nurse Kim, is that you've been in spaces a lot. So there's probably like 50 or 60 Minna fans who know you really well, like talk to you 3-4 times a week. No, but and then there's, thousands of others who've only heard Kirk call you a cunt. And that's it. They just sort of
fat cunt. Yeah.
Yeah. So what, how did you feel when Kirk first started shitting on you?
Oh, well, really good question. So, I was weak. I was weak when it first happened. And cause I was new to content creation. I'm I'm a fucking millennial. I'm a mom. I'm a nurse. I'm retarded. And I was just it hurt my feelings. And then I got better with it. And I was like, I know it's not about me. And then I made that cunt Nurse Kim buttons. I made some merch, Okay. And then I just realized, I think at some point, and I still don't think it's probably true, but I like to think that he might like me if he says that I'm a dumb fat cunt. I'm like, well, he wouldn't say my name if he didn't think I was okay.
I think going to soccer would have sealed it for him. If you go to a live show and make that commitment, he's all in. I think he'd have totally seen. He gets, Kirk does get very sensitive about people coming along and taking shine away from him or leeching off him, but it's not even just leeching off him. He does just get petty and jealous at some point where people come along and get more attention or the attention is taken off him for a moment. That can rub him up the wrong way. And I don't think it's just people trying to sort of ride up his coattail, that he just gets annoyed when sometimes the light's not on him.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that one, Menners. I think that it was like it was a stressful time. Cully was not pulling his weight. Cully was not doing what he was supposed to do. No offense, babe. Not like not doing what he was supposed to do, but put in some extra work instead of streaming with me. I understood Kirk's frustration. I got it. But like, I didn't feel like I needed to be the target specifically of it. Like I thought hopefully Cully could take a lashing, but I get where if you weren't spending time with me, then there could have been more for the show. And that is the priority. Why? Because it is. Because Kirk's name and Kirk's show and your employer is the priority. So I get it.
Yeah, it's also a bit of a test as well. I think when Kirk shits on people, it's a bit of a test just to see if they've got a thick enough skin for the show, because you need to have one to stick in this world, because if Kirk's not shitting on you, it'll be Minifans, it'll be somebody. And so I think you need that. And also I do think Minifans, part of our dysfunction is you show love by being mean to people.
Yeah, I think that, Sneakers really gave me a good 6 months of torture for anything I posted, anything about anything. He let me know that I was the dumbest, fattest bitch that ever lived. And, I appreciate him because him and you sometimes were a prick. And also, yeah. And there was, I have Jackson got me, and a lot of people were really critical of me, and unfortunately I'm not fucking going anywhere.
As I said, it's a test. Like, it really is a test, and you passed it. You're still here. Just circling back, what's the Nurse Kim content story? Because I'm not really plugged into the true crime scene, so I'd love to know how you got into it, how you started doing, these fantastic YouTube shows that get, thousands and thousands of views. I can tell you, you would be there. There is a big fan base here of Nurse Kim, I'm sure. Like, I was listening to, there's a couple of other podcasts I listened to, and, one of them was all over the Karen Read stuff, talking about content creators on TikTok like yourself and Cullinane. But, so, you've done so well, from nothing, but where did it start? How did it start? When did it start?
Yeah. It was in 2023. Yes. So the year before the Karen Read debacle. And I was covering a civil case down in Florida. It was the Maya Kowalski case. And I've always been a true crime. If like most women are, we're weird. I can fall asleep to the sounds of Kirk's voice on the case. Like any podcast, I can fall asleep to it. And they're like, and he chopped her body up into 52 pieces. And I'm dreaming soundly.
Yeah.
So, I just loved all of true crime. And, I said, fuck it. I see all these other people doing it. Let me give it a whirl. So I just started doing trial coverage, and I was very interested in it. And then I ended up going to get so I'm a registered nurse, a real one, not a fake one. And I went to go get my legal nurse consulting, my certification for that. And I'm a wound nurse. So I have multiple, designations in my career. And with the legal nurse consulting, I was like, this is huge. And I could explain it from a medical perspective, cases. And I don't see that a lot. You can see lawyers, you can see, regular people talking about it, but that was a specific niche that I hadn't seen really, in the true crime space. So I jumped on TikTok, started there. And then in the summer of 24, I started on YouTube, and we're here now.
And that's fantastic. So you've got a TikTok channel, YouTube. It's not a podcast. It's just a YouTube show.
Mm-hmm. I just go live whenever. Yeah.
Fantastic. And how's it growing?
Yeah. So, I started that in, my YouTube channel in August of 2024. And we have 33,000 subscribers. So good.
Fantastic. So that must be a nice little earner for you.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well done. Well, that's fantastic.
Thank
As you know, might not know this. I do a true crime podcast. It's on accidents in amusement parks. It's called Fairground Fuck Ups, and it's won a few awards here and been recognized in the States. And the angle is, I came up with it like 5 years ago, accidents in amusement parks. And the episodes are mainly like an amusement park ride, quite short. And they sort of go up and down because it starts off with kids going to the amusement park, having a great day. And then, I don't know, one of the kids gets their feet chopped off on a ride and stuff. So I've done like four seasons of that. So I do like true crime as well.
I love that, Menners.
Different to what you do. There's no show that specializes in accidents in amusement parks. So
you're one in a million, babe. That's what you are. 1 in a million, Menners.
Thanks. I'm looking to do season 5 next year.
Where can I find that?
It's on all podcast apps.
Oh.
It's called, I'll send it to you. Fairground Fuck Ups. It's beautiful to binge, short episodes.
Awesome.
You'll like it if you like horrifying stuff. It'll put you to sleep. Yeah. So while we're staying on the true crime stuff, what did you think of the case season 1 and 2?
Obsessed. Okay, first of all, thank you, Kirk. You're solving 2 murders. And I know that there has been criticisms, and I don't like it. Okay, specifically just because of my interest in Massachusetts and my interest in the Sandra Birchmore case as it relates to other cases that I have covered. It is incredible what was done. And then when there are people, I don't know, even like yourself, Menners, who criticize what it was about or what they were to put on, or it was lazily produced, or, what was really discovered. He just talked about this. It was major. He was the first person who put in a mainstream publication that he had questions and did not buy the bullshit that the Commonwealth sold us. He dug and Cully dug and got that clip that changed everything of the elevator. And if you don't understand that without that and without Kirk, that literally it could have been that the FBI never came and that Matthew Farwell would still be, walking the streets of Stoughton and living his best life. And that was the pinnacle that changed the trajectory of that case and several other cases, including Karen Reed and Brian Walsh and everybody. So that's the pinnacle. That's the origin. So I think I can't wait. And I really, I try to get Cully to tell me something. I'm like, when, we got a case, and he's like, shut the fuck up. And so I don't ask, but I'm really looking forward. I hope that the case season 3 is coming.
Well, I don't think the case season 3 is ever going to happen. So that's my first bit of bad news for you. Because you've only come into the world last year, you don't realize how many promises are broken by Cullinane and Kirk, but mainly Cullinane. A lot of things are said, not a lot are delivered. And I don't think we'll ever see the case season 3. That's my personal opinion.
Ye of little faith, Menners.
I hope I'm wrong. Okay, so I take on board what you said, and I've always said Kirk is a genius, and I have no doubt he cracked the case for the Birchmore thing. And I'm sure Cullinane, and at the time, Kirk said Cullinane was pretty good in digging up that video, right? So they did one good thing, right? But no. But
Menners.
Okay.
One good thing.
Yeah, they did one good thing, but
you look at that was the actual changing of the whole entire story. It ends differently.
One great thing. But
okay.
But if you compare season 1 and season 2 of the case, season 1 was very well produced. It was put together in such a way that was an actual podcast. Steve Robinson, the people would listen to. Season 2, like Cullinane's speciality, there was no thought into it. They bumbled through it, but they struck gold, and they did an amazing thing, a fantastic thing. Kirk Minahan, greater than Sherlock Holmes. I'm happy to say that. But yeah, it wasn't well produced. And since then, they've done nothing from it. Like that should have been the stepping stone to more stuff, but they haven't been able to leverage that with anything. So I give them huge amount of credit for cracking the case, but you know, in the end, it's led to absolutely diddly squat.
Okay. So to this point, yes, but
Yep.
you don't know what's on the horizon, or you don't know what's next, or you don't know if there is a streaming service, or you don't know if there is supposed to be a different path. Because here is the thing. I think that either Kirk wants to do it and, you know, he's just not leaning like towards really going into a specific streaming service, or he's just looking for the next thing. Because if he really wanted it, if there is anything that Kirk really wants, he's going to get it. So there's no reason that he would send Dave to meetings to call people attention seeking whores. And, you know, when you're trying to build a bridge and make a deal, like, so either he's trolling us or there's something else in the works, in my opinion.
Well, firstly, I think Kirk is reticent or nervous about going back to the Birchmore story because it's been done. Like he's done, as you say, cracked the case, finding that video, blew the whole thing open. All he's going to do is rehash that. So I don't think he's particularly happy with that. But as you said, there is some negligence involved in, like, okay, you love Cullinane clearly. Like, you know, you love him as a,
of course I do.
But you got to admit he's a bumbling fucking idiot. Like, he's negotiating with all these streaming services, can't get a deal done. He's calling Karen Reed like a clout whore or whatever in a meeting. Like, that's just one thing he said we know about. Can you imagine the 50 other things he said that we don't know about?
And that he forgot about, literally.
Exactly.
Yep, okay.
So, like, I get the fact that you find Cullinane funny and his stupidity funny, but at some point I find his just fucking inadequacies as a producer frustrating. And, you know, you say it's funny when he sort of does these stupid things, but the thing is, like, he's been dumb. Like, I've been hearing him being dumb for 7 years since Kirk first fired him for getting Dershowitz on the podcast under a lie. Like, if I came in a year ago, I would probably still find Cullinane amusing, but I'm like, okay, can we actually like do something now? Like, you get a chance to work with Kirk. Like, actually, like, the Cullinane should have Case season 3 done. Like, sometimes you've just got to push talent to get it done, and it just hasn't happened.
Okay, I hear you. I'm hearing you. I have a soft spot. I think he is magic. I think he is good. I love the dynamic of Kirk and Cully. And, you know, what Kirk wants is going to have to be where Cully fits into that equation. And I think that he's in a weird spot right now, Menners, like where he doesn't want to push, meaning Cullinane, doesn't want to push ideas or get screamed at. But when he doesn't do that, and Kirk has to go through the list every day of like, you know, what else? This is going to agitate him as well. So you have to pick a lane, and it's gonna have to be Cully who steps to the plate and says, I'm branching out, because although this works and this formula works, if we want to bring it to another dimension, I have to bring the game, because Kirk can rise to any level, right? Kirk can be anywhere. It's where Cully wants to. Yeah.
Cullinane can't. And I just want to say, because I'm, you know, very negative about Dave. I love Dave. He's a great guy, sweet, lovely, dumb, beautiful man. But I'm sick of him on the show. I'm sick of the show. No. And he's part of that.
So
he's
happy
a big
he's
part
back.
of that. Yeah, I'm not. It's devastating. Just on the other producer, Justin. So you brought up some great stuff about Mammy before. You know, one of my knocks about Justin is he's always stubborn, and he can't take criticism, and he literally is a producer with no experience. He's come from Grill on the Hill. He's like just sort of learnt on the job, but he has no technical or production experience. He literally doesn't know what to do. And I will say today he showed growth. I know you might not have seen this, but Justin actually stood up during the show, which is historic in itself. And he adjusted Whitney's microphone mid-show. And the funny thing was, didn't really need it this time, but still he got it perfect. And so that shows growth. But and I think Justin's just a bit of a spoiled, stubborn guy. But tell me, what's your impression of him as someone who's just come into, because Justin was producing Men is Life 6 years ago when he was like still in nappies. And now he's this, fat guy trying to produce a podcast.
Justin is lovely. Okay. He's a lovey. Okay. To me, he's not a lovey. He's not a fan. But when I met him at Saco, I was like, hi, Justin. I was like starstruck because he's so big. And he's lovable. And yes, he's stubborn. Yes, he is a bull. And he needs to learn how to just lean in my opinion, is just lean into who he is and not be afraid, because I feel that he holds back on so much. And if he would go there, like he either gets pissed off, he's gonna cry and whine about something, or he's shutting right down. And I just would love to see him open himself up to everything and to see where it goes, because when Kirk takes him to places, I find it some of the most compelling episodes that I've seen.
Well, that's interesting because Justin used to be a lot more of an open book in the early days, but as he's got more arrogant and more confident, he's kind of shut himself off. And as he started dating Mary, more walls have come up. Like he used to be a lot more outgoing. He used to put himself out there more. He was much more willing to make himself look like an idiot. Like he'd do things like, how many McChickens can I eat and stuff.
Yes.
Like he'd vomit up milk on screen. Like he was like just a total, threw himself into everything, but he's definitely, backed off of that since he's become the lead producer. But yeah, you think Mammy spoiled him and now and he's an emotional leader. They're two of your things.
Well, yeah, I think that's how he finds love, right? Love through food. It's not very unique. It's just.
So do you think Mary's not real?
No, I think Mary is real. I think she's very real.
So he finds love through Mary and food.
Mary and food, and maybe Mary wearing food. You don't know where this goes, Go, good for you, Justin. Get it, babe.
She's special needs, so maybe he has to feed her as well.
Oh, wow.
That could be love. He could like that. That might, from what you're saying, that might turn him on. Yeah, like if he gets pleasure out of eating food, maybe he would then enjoy feeding Mary in a wheelchair. Maybe he'd
choose the food and then spits it into her mouth like a baby bird.
All right, now we've gone too far.
No, okay.
That image will haunt me forever of Justin spitting food into some, woman in a wheelchair. All right, so soccer. You went to soccer. Give us the scoop. So I know, fortunately, Freddie Lynn didn't harass you like he did Anastasia. But how was it?
It was goddamn manners. It was so cool. So we get up there. I pick up Anastasia, and it was the first time we've ever met, and we end up heading up, and we go to Danny and Bill Ricca's house. And it's all the boys, everyone, all of them that we know. It's spaces with faces. And I am like, oh my gosh. And I have, memes, my memers. I have Montante is there. John from Scranton's. No, I lied. Not John from Scranton.
Johnny Warren.
Johnny Warren is there. Then who else was at the house at that time? I don't know, but Roscoe comes. Then we have, Darren Cunningham walks in. Oh.
Delicious.
Looking like a snack, babe. I go, what the fuck? Because all you ever see of him is he's a cartoon now, but he used to be just a little face pic of him. So I assumed he was just like this tall, lanky man. He comes in looking like Vin Diesel, for Christ's sake. And he had just been at a gym, and he was like, oh, I found that 2 miles down the road, there's this incredible training facility. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was awesome. So he's dressed in all black. If he had a chain, he would have been a rapper, a Jewish one, but we love him. And so, okay, so everyone is there. Who else is there? Oh, Daver. Okay, Daver's there. And Boo. All right, so Montante and Boo, because Montante had just lost his $1,000 like a bitch. And so we just have a blast. We're all hanging out, having fun. Then we end up going to the show, and we're there early, right? Clearly, Freddie Lynn was with us, because Freddie's like, we've got to get there early. So we get there early, and there's 15 cars in the parking lot. We're so early, like 2.5. As soon as the gates opened, we were there. And I look across, and I just see, and I go, oh my God, that's my baby. I see Cully Cakes. And he's busy setting up, so I don't want to bother him, but I'm looking at him.
Had you met before in person?
Oh yeah. Me and Cully have met, several times. But, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I was really, really proud. And I'm seeing him set up, and I'm seeing Justin from afar, and I'm seeing Kirk from afar, and I'm just like, this is cool. And so we take out like our chairs, and we're having like White Claws, and then I got to meet all the Minifans that are like normal Minifans on Twitter versus like my MySpace's delinquents. So I got to meet Laura Lynn. I got to meet Mama Kay. I got to meet Bobby Costa, Angel.
I used to have a massive crush on Lauren Lynn, by the way.
I could see why.
Yeah, she's a babe.
Chef's
and my
kiss.
height. My height
Gorgeous.
too.
Tiny little pocket. Yeah, spinner. Whoops. Like in a beautiful way. She's lovely. All of them, beautiful girls. And it was super cool. It was that, and so that's like the pre-show. Then, babes, it's dark. I pull over my chair. I'm sitting on like a side, right? And I'm waiting. And it's like, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes before showtime. And Kirk he's like walking out, and I go, oh my God, he's near me. Oh my God, he's near me. Don't be fucking weird. Don't be weird. And he's like shaking the hands of the people in front of me. And then he walks over to me, right? And I go, and he's like, hi. And I'm like, hi, I'm Kim. Like, what a dork. That was so, I was like, hi, I'm Kim. Hi, Kirk, I'm Kim. And he's like, hey, Kim. And he was just like, we were talking about Dateline for a second. And then he took a picture with me and Anastasia. And he said hi to Freddie. And then he went on his way, but he was very nice. He told us to make sure that we kept our hands above the waist, okay, in case we were thinking about getting frisky. But he was very nice. And it like warmed my heart, because like I was so nervous, and I was like, he might be like, you dumbass, why did you even come here? But he didn't treat me like that at all. And then I saw him like interact with a little boy who was like 11, and he was asking him questions and taking pictures with him. And I was like, this is the man who like can say the most wild shit, and then also has a heart like that to make an 11-year-old's like fucking like year by chilling and like, asking him about his life and himself when he's meeting Kirk Minahan, So, I don't know. It was really great. And then the show starts, and it happened to be, Menners, the best fucking show that me personally, as a true crime enthusiast, could have ever gone to. It was the Dateline Cullinane Crucifucking Fiction. And I howled. When I tell you, babe, I had to say to myself, shut the fuck up. I was laughing so loud, because it was just killing me every time Kirk would go back to what was Cully there for? He should have had a fedora. It was everything I've ever wanted. It was like Christmas. It was the best first fucking show I could have ever dreamed of. I am a lifer now. And to have the Montante fucking, because I love Montante too. I think he's a doll.
He jerks off to you at least once a day, I'm told.
He what?
He jerks off to you at least once a day.
Oh yeah, we try to make it 2, but it is what it is. Sometimes the man is busy.
Absolutely. But why do you love Montante? You were saying something, sorry?
He was just nice. When I first came and I was getting like crucified, he was always kind to me, and not in a weird way. He was just always a good, solid dude. And he was
nothing like your
awesome to me
big
in person.
tits didn't help at all.
What?
I'm sure your big tits didn't help at all with that.
Oh, it didn't. No.
Okay, so on live shows, the one thing that I think doesn't come across, like the love and the vibes at live events between the Minifans is like, you can't really describe it unless you're in a cult or some freaky religion or something. Like the love and the vibes are really high at a live show. And also what you said about Kirk is true. Like actually in person, he comes across as very warm. Like he doesn't come across at all as like cold or icy or, you know, he's, as Whitney was saying today on the show, he's a good friend, and that comes across in person.
Yeah. That is where, Menners, why I reached out to you, right? Is because like it had been, you know, like you said, a little over a year and a half. I've known you for most of that time. And, you know, I was trying to always get my bearings, and like, I feel like I'm very content aware. I watch everything, but I felt like for the first time I was part of it. Like when I got to go there, and everybody is like really, it's kind of the best, most fucked up group of people I've ever met. Like if the Karen Reed people are fucking crazy, like the Minifans are a different breed of like, I hate you and love you all at the same time. And yet they would go to war at any moment. I don't know how to describe it, but
no, it's true.
It was so high. It was like peak awesome for me. And I can't wait for Laconia or the Christmas show, whatever.
And any like gossip from Socko? I mean, there's, you know, some lost time, you know, for certain people. There seems to be lost hours here or there. I mean, any gossip?
No.
Come on. Anyone get really wasted? How creepy? Like, there were rumors that Freddie is really creepy. I don't know. I've never met him.
Freddie Lynn is a gentleman. He was a wonderful gentleman. And
is it hard to get rid of him? Like, at any point did it feel like, will this guy stop following me, Anastasia, around?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Nope. And Danny from Billerica broke into a dance. I'll tell you this, at a bar afterwards. That bar, what is it? The Brunswick. We had gone there. Kevin from Bristol, his wife, incredible, lovely people. We were really on one there, and it was quite magical to see 22-year-old children watch Danny from Billerica just shake his moneymaker like somebody's about to pay him.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Oh, good.
Well, sorry. So for those listening on the podcast, this won't hit, but what's behind you? You've got a sports ground. I was trying to work out what it is.
Yeah, Menners, I don't know.
Okay.
It's a stock photo.
All right. I just thought maybe there was some significance to it, because it looks like a soccer field. And I'm like, why she put a soccer field behind her?
I don't know, babe.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Whatever. What have you got to hide? What's behind you? No, I'm just joking. So when they were going around, like taking photos with everyone, Kirk relayed a story of, the most miserable person at Socko was Brando's girlfriend. So for those that don't know, Brando, obviously there was rumors about you and Brando that I'm only just remembering now, but, more rumors. Brando came into the show bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, got completely, went put through the ringer by the Minifans. He's now come out the other side, and we never see him. But apparently his girlfriend who should have been happy, because she has like 8 kids. She gets a night off from the kids. They're not Brando's kids; it's somebody else's. So she gets a night off from the kids, and apparently she was miserable. So for those watching on YouTube, this is the photo that she took, and all I can think about now is like how miserable Brando's girlfriend was taking this photo. Look how happy Brando is. He is in heaven there. And I imagine his girlfriend just wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. Look at Kirk. Even Kirk's like feeling the bad vibes.
Kirk could feel that from a mile away.
Yeah. So for those listening on the podcast app, Brando has got this photo as his profile picture on Twitter. If you want to check it out. Did you come across Brando and his girlfriend? I don't even know where the Nurse Kim rumor started. I can't remember.
It was you, Menners, actually.
Was
that
it?
started those? Yep.
Don't think so.
No, it was you. It was 100% you. And it may have been, some say that it was because I was there. That, you know, I may have made her just feel sad because she knows that virtually I called out Brando's guns. Okay. And that was a disrespect to her.
That's right. That's right. You were flirting a lot with Brando during the Brando show, and Brando would get the guns out, which what I don't understand is if I'm a person, male or female, and my partner, whoever that is desired by other people, that is kind of like a good thing, because you don't want to be with someone that's fucking ugly and no one wants to touch. Like, obviously you don't want your partner to then act on it, but you know, we were just yucking around. So did you run into Brando? Have you ever met him?
I've never met Brando, and I did not, I saw him, like I saw him from afar, but I was not able to go up because some thought that would be a poor choice, and I didn't want to be disrespectful to anyone.
Okay. Interesting. Any other people that you saw there that just looked like any partners that didn't look like they were having a good time? Any fights? Any tension?
No, Menners. It was like, and I think that this is different than previous years, right? Like, you have to think that like Saco 1 and 2, like in the beginning where they had, you know, COVID and all of the things, it was more of a party. Like everyone was partying, right? And this was not that. It really was like, I feel like everybody was so well behaved, like not well behaved, but like just, I saw no fights. I saw everybody having a good time. Beanbag Ron, I can't believe I didn't say Beanbag Ron and his wife. I was just thinking of couples that I saw, right? Nipples, his wife. You know, I didn't see anybody but Brando and his lady friend that were looking like they maybe were struggling to find their way to a good time that everyone else was having, you know?
Wow, that's so diplomatically put. Just on Beanbag Ron's wife, apparently Cullinan really wants to bang her, so she must be quite attractive.
Show.
Yep. Just with, I actually honestly forgot about you and the Brando thing. Well, I had that photo. I saw that photo on Twitter last night, that Brando, and I remembered the story that Kirk said, and I thought I just have to put it up because all I can think about is how miserable she is. And just so it's on record, you and Brando are over now. It's done.
We are officially, you know, after we're officially over. It's done. Okay. You can't get back.
All right. And I want to circle back to something. Whichever Minifan brought their 11-year-old son to soccer, you need to be locked up. Honestly, you need to be locked up. KMS is not for 11-year-olds.
Not at all.
There is some horrifying shit said on that show that most of it is in jest, or 99% of it. I would not want an 11-year-old listening to that show.
Yeah, and definitely there was cocaine because Montante was there, right? So, you know, when we're worrying about, you know, all of our children, there should have been a DARE officer just really close by, a drug sniffing dog, and then they would have just removed Montante and everyone else would have stayed.
But there's also like probably at least 6 Minifans there who aren't allowed within like 100 yards of a school. So having kids there might have broken their parole orders or whatever.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but an 11-year-old, that is wild.
I loved it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, good for the 11-year-old. Good taste. What's your take on the Dateline thing then? Because I think my take is that the Dateline people quite respected the work Kirk did. And you outlined, you know, he did crack the case. There's no way Cullinan came to that gem with his brain power, but they thought Cullinan was a joke, and therefore he was in there. I don't even know why they left him in, but I think they just thought he was a joke. I think they sort of realized they kind of didn't want to make the whole story about Kirk and Cullinane, so they kind of brought in some other people. What's your read? What do you think?
Menners, you just went out. I didn't hear anything.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your read of the whole Dateline thing? I don't know where I cut off, but I was saying basically
about them bringing other people in was what I was last hearing.
Yeah, and then I literally just said to you, "What's your take on?"
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think that, here it is that they called. I don't know if there was a lot of respect there, Menners. Realistically, you called them Boston podcasters. Didn't like it. I didn't like that there was, the Cullinane situation, but there has been rumors. The word on the street is that a high-powered NBC executive is out for blood of David Cullinane. And that their life mission is to make him look like a fool.
Why?
Maybe was there any kind of relationship, or what happened with Andrea? Okay.
What happened with Andrea?
What happened? He was giving the eyes to her the whole time. And
I don't want to start these rumors because, David married.
Oh, we don't start them with Cully. We just start them with me.
Okay, that's true. That's true. No, but seriously, what did you take on?
No, I thought it was, listen, I thought it was pointless to me personally. There was nothing new. Watch the case. You didn't need to see, they could have gone to so many different angles. And what did they cover? The same shit that we already knew that was in everything. What was there? I believed, I don't know, it was something with Fanning that they did confirm, that there was the thousands of text messages had been discovered. And it wasn't by the FBI. It was from the Internal Affairs investigation. And I just thought to myself, if you saw thousands of text messages that included, but weren't limited to, confessing to the age of which Sandra Birchmore lost her virginity to Matthew Farwell, why wasn't there a crime that the Massachusetts State Police could have charged him with? Why did it have to go all the way to federal and the FBI and, of murdering homicide of a witness, a potential witness, when you had crimes in that phone that was found? So, there's questions there.
It stinks. I mean, there was some dodgy stuff going on with those cops.
Mm-hmm.
But Cullinane obviously came across as an idiot. And, you talk about the Boston podcast and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but that's actually on Cullinane to make sure they're given appropriate credit. Like, that's what a professional does. Like, you make sure that you're given credit for your work and before it goes to air. Like, I just think Cullinane's a bumbling fucking idiot. And that's another example of where he just fucking flubbed it again. Like,
you see that B-roll with him with the papers and them looking at the.
I know.
Oh, Menners. I said, stop it. Oh my gosh. But listen, they got the bites in that they had, right? And they got in Kirk, good points. Cullinane that couldn't have been better for me. And as somebody who loves Dave Cullinane, it is just when a self-proclaimed 9.5 sees himself with a lazy eye and almost looking like he's having a stroke, okay, or a Bell's palsy, a Cole's palsy, if you will. Like it affected him so negatively, and his ego was bruised. So I had to tell him, I tell him how smart and pretty he is every day that I can, but it was a humbling moment for Cullinane, and that brought me joy.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed it too. I love seeing Cullinane suffer and being miserable, and just another, but just on, Cullinane is a disloyal piece of shit. So
no.
he used to be in the mud with all the Minifans before he got the job as producer. Then he gets the job as producer and he turns his back on everybody, just puts up a big wall, stops contacting the Minifans. Then he gets sick of doing KMS. He throws himself into the true crime world. And then he comes back onto KMS and now he calls Karen Reid all these things. He shows no loyalty to you whatsoever. He's never, hardly ever defended you on the show. He completely shits on, saying that shit about Karen Reid after he's fucking sharing a steak with her 6 months ago and fucking trying to get in her pants. I mean, he's just a disloyal, vacuous piece of shit. And you were saying it now, what is he doing with you now? Since he's back on KMS, does he ever reach out to do content or do anything? No.
Well, no, because he has his job, and that's the priority. And
Friday's off.
Manners. Listen, I can't. It's my guy, and okay. I will always there. He is him, and he's
going to turn his back on you, though.
He would never.
He will. I mean, your tits might make it a little bit harder.
And if he does turn his back on me, then it'll be my lesson to be learned. But I will always. I can't help it. I love him.
Okay, good. All right. I put out a poll this week and I want to ask you, which of these actually happens for KMS? We've got Bitches Week. Are you back? Can you hear me now?
And I'm sorry.
No. Can you hear me now?
You're trying to come back. Oh.
Am I back now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I've got there's 3 things that KMS have said they'll do. I want your opinion on what you think will happen.
Okay.
We've got Bitches Week, we've got the Plymouth Christmas show, and we've got a trip to Alaska in 2026. How many of those 3 things will happen?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Okay, which 2 do you think?
We are having Bitches Week and our Christmas show.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And listen, Alaska could happen. I'm not saying, but I'm saying if I were gun to my head, I needed to pick those 2, I think, are definite, 100%.
I think none of them will happen. And I put out a poll and 39.2% of Minifans think none will happen. 23.8% think one of them will happen. 20.8% think 2 will happen. And 16.2% think all 3 will happen. So none happening is the winner. I actually think Bitches Week will happen because I'm just not going to not let them forget about it. I'm just going to tweet about it every day until it happens because I think it'd be funny. Mm-hmm. You just need something to shake up the show. Would you go in?
If they wanted me to, yeah, of course.
Okay, definitely. Well, Kirk, Dave, anybody that's listening, Nurse Kim has to be on that list. Has to be. So yeah, and I think the actual road trip in 2026 is a good idea. I like the idea of a road trip with lots of shows. Basically, my idea would be almost every night when you get somewhere, you do a show, and it's a proper road trip. You could even sell some of the shows if you wanted to do sell the streams if you wanted to try and recoup some costs. Maybe every week, most shows are free, but they do a couple behind it. But anyway, the point is I would love to see that road trip, next year. But, that's what, so Minifans now, Kim, are kind of conditioned not to get their hopes up because I would say 8 out of 10 ideas they have don't happen.
Have better ideas, Menners.
Yep. Okay, good. They need better ideas.
Thank you.
They need better ideas.
Yeah.
Any other women you'd like to see going for Bitches Week?
Any other women? Jess Machado.
Okay.
She has said that she is a Minifan and that she has been for a very long time. She used to watch Jerry and Kirk also. I would love to see, I know Mama Kay would be clearly the first. Laura Lynn, maybe she could come down. I think Kate has already reached out and she will be a part of it. So Anastasia, if she would love to come, she's a Spaces representative.
True Crime Day with you and Lauren Conlon.
Oh my gosh. I love Lauren Conlon. I love her. She's a good, and she's jumped in and she's beautiful too. Oh my God. I would love to see any Minna lady that were to come. And maybe I tried to talk Laura Lynn into possibly, I said, you thinking anything about your Minna lady show? Cause it ended, I was going back in the network and I watched all of those and, it it just became kind of work instead of fun for her. So I hope that maybe she would rethink that at some point in the future.
Yeah, and actually, you understand this. Content is always work. If you just think doing a weekly show is just turn on the StreamYard and do it, it's never that simple. I mean, just organizing people to be there on the stream is a job, but then you've actually got to, make sure you're caught up on the show. You've thought about things to talk about. So I do get where people are coming from, which is why I've said, I think if you can just do a monthly show, you should do it like a Miniladies monthly show where you just talk about what's been cooking. Then you've got all month to organize it. And if, 4 or 5 different people decide to do a monthly show, all of a sudden you've got lots of content.
Yeah.
So that's I'd also like to see, I don't know if you saw Mutt in Barstool with the Fishbowl ladies. I would love to actually see like a few of them come down and do a KMS takeover.
Yes.
They are so dumb. Like Kirk could have such fun with those idiots. And I'm sure you could get 2 or 3 of them to get on a fucking train or a drive down.
Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah. Everything okay?
Yeah, no, it was just my daughter like singing at the top of her lungs. I'm sorry. That's
all right. Tell her we're doing a fucking show.
Yeah. Liv. No worries.
What about, she's probably coming. Who's this Carl guy you keep like talking about with your fucking tongue out? What do you think? Did you hear the Ted story this week?
Ted Tellers?
Yeah. Did you hear the wedding story?
Oh, how much more could we have ever heard of it?
Do you
Congratulations, Ted.
Do you think he comes across as a bit of a psycho, like taking the dogs, asking for money back?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. Right. I just would like to pay him. I'll pay you if we never have to talk about it again. I'll send you a check. Nurse Kim check.
Okay, we'll move on. Okay, you made it very clear you don't want to talk about Ted. And then look, I agree. Don't pick on the handicapped. As a rule of thumb, people last night were shitting on him in spaces. It was very, very uncomfortable.
Okay, I'll kick someone's ass. Well, it was probably Andy Mayo.
Yeah, and Montante, your boyfriend. What about Mutt? Where are you on the Mutt man?
Tell me about Mutt. I am a Mutt slut like you read about.
Wow.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, love him. Loved him since day one. Mutt is, first of all, he's Merrimack Valley. He's a Chelmsford guy. I live right near there. And I find him to be disarmingly unmotivated. Okay. He makes, you're as safe as you can ever be. There is not a competitive bone. There is not any will to live really within him. And I find him just delicious. A man that won't pay $15 to get his hair cut. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Sign me up. Are we fucking? Like, I don't know. I'm into it.
Wow, you really are. You really are a Mutt slut. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Love him.
All right. Well, you're going to get a lot of him. Is it Barstool now? It's Mutt.
I know.
He has certainly made an impression, and I was thinking about this. Kirk's whole life at EEI, a lot of Kirk's pleasure at EEI was just shitting on Mutt. Like, he just kept Mutt around to shit on him, and it was perfect. I think Portnoy is going to do the same. I think Mutt's just going to hit enough bets to pay for himself, and Portnoy, it doesn't matter what Mutt does, Portnoy's just going to enjoy having this guy to shit on because he is the perfect whipping boy. I mean, him going in on game 2 of the wild card with the baseball head was amazing.
Amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And I would just say that, yeah, I think he'll make it to the list of the Mincy list and of you're here forever. And I will absolutely degrade your soul for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And I am really happy we're at this stage because there's only so much longer we could go on with Mutt. You're going to get a job. Like, it had been a topic for 2 years. So I'm so glad we've moved on to now Mutt's got a job. Let's make him suffer while doing his job. All right. Mutt slut. Wow.
Right. Yeah. And being paid for his suffrage.
Huge Mutt slut. Huge Mutt slut. All right. We've got a couple of things before we get to listen to questions and, the pop culture segment. But I mean, Tell me about like some of the Minifan characters that you really like, from Spaces, met in person. Like, did you go with Tommy Quinlan?
I went to Providence I went to Providence, and I stayed at the Omni, and I went out with Tommy Quinlan for a Saturday night in the gay district. Okay. And when I tell you, Tommy Quinlan is my soul sister. Okay. You don't know shit. I live for that queen. He is everything. And like, we had the best night. We were out till like 3:00 in the morning. I had done a live event down in whatever, but like, long story short, I stay over that night. And then the next day we went out to, supper in Federal Hill. And it was the first time I had ever gone to the Italian section of Providence. And we had the best time. Cullinane was in his most jealous. When I tell you a man that had a temper tantrum, that he was not invited, or like which he was invited to go out Saturday night. We didn't invite him for supper like the next day, but, it was a 36-hour period. I'll never forget. I will never be the same. Thank you, Tommy Quinlan.
Great. Have you met, well, it sounds fantastic. I really love Tommy. Have you met any other Minifans apart from the ones at Socko?
Apart from the ones at Socko, no. Nope. Just, okay. Yeah.
Tommy, Carl, and everyone at Socko. Nice.
Yes.
I mean, Spaces have been fun. Certainly good time chatting with a lot of different Minifans. So you've certainly met a lot in there for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like, you just feel like people after a while of, getting into their evening routines for so long. John 47 is a character that I have so many questions about, Menners, like so many questions. I want to know, is he in a bath every time he's in a Spaces? Is there why he's using an air fryer for salmon? There are things I need to know what he looks like, because it's going to never be what I believe it is. Whatever is in my head is going to be a polar opposite. So to the bathing John 47 of Scranton, I guess the second John from Scranton, you're funny and I like you.
Okay, he's my favorite John from Scranton.
Who said that? Yeah.
Hopefully we can get him to come into a live show one day.
Yes.
And we'll meet him. All right. Well, we're going to get to listen to questions, but just want to say the network is cooking at the moment. We had Hot Wieners this week. We had Stein Time. Kim, you love the network content. You're always watching it. Did you catch any of Bradley Stein's bizarre premiere on Thursday night?
I did.
Wednesday night.
Yes, I did. And I got to tell you this, Menor. So I fucking loved it. I fucking loved it. There is no, I don't know why that tickled my fancy in the way that it did, but to hear him read scripture, pull up a fucking holy cross, and John from Scranton ripping butts and then saying no and calling them heathens and bringing up all of our names. Hilarious. I loved it. Great bit. Keep it up. Bible study with Bradley Stein. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I applaud the effort. He doesn't quite tickle my sense of humor, but I do thought it was good. And I like the fact that he had like clips ready and bits ready, and he clearly put some effort into it. He had a really good setup. Like, it was objectively a very good premiere. And, I think it's ironic because the Hot Wieners, they were yapping away about how they were going to do a different show and do all these bits. Bradley Stein, very quietly in the background, has, risen to the top and done a show that is actually delivered on what the Wieners weren't able to do. Now, I like the Wieners, but it's just three guys and John talking about KMS and playing a few clips. Like, it's like a lot of other network shows where Stein legitimately, he's put his unique stamp on it.
Yeah, he broke the mold. There is nothing like Bradley's Bible study, right? And it is an interesting take. I mean, to some people, will they find it sacrilege? Probably. But, as long as the Minifans are who I know they are, they won't take it like that. Okay. Because they do not believe in God. No. Yeah. But, Hot Wieners.
Well, yes, I don't believe in God. So.
Yeah. Well, I do. I believe in God,
but
Father
I
Almighty,
know.
creator of heaven and earth. Oh, look at
I
Tiny
know.
Mary. Tiny Mary and Tiny Jesus in the boom.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Americans love their Christianity, that's for sure.
Well, I'm Catholic, so you can fuck off.
I was baptized.
Of course I am. I'm baptized.
I was. Not everything's about you. I was too.
Sorry.
I was too. I'm just saying we're both baptized. That's all.
We're both baptized.
My mum's family is Catholic.
Oh. Did you make your confirmation or no? You didn't get your Eucharist?
No, I didn't. I'm actually baptized and circumcised. So if I get to heaven, if God's Jewish or Christian, I should be fine.
You're great. You're great. No skin on you, babe. And what I wanted to say was that this makes sense. The wieners are they hot? Are they the hottest wieners? Yes. What is the most chaotic thing about every time I've turned that on for the 3 episodes that it's been? If fucking Pat Ford doesn't move his chair and get away from that closet, it enrages me. Seeing his clothes in the order that they are, I hate it. Then he did the bit about your father not being, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Menner's
and
dad.
He's dead, by the way. So it was kind of full.
You could apologize, Ford.
Yeah. He died 25 years ago, and the anniversary was recently, so it was kind of an emotional time. That's all right. Pat Ford, very insensitive. Do I continue?
Yeah. He's
a disgusting human, Pat Ford. A disgusting, decrepit human. Like the other night, so there's some fucking turd burglar called Rudy in Spaces, and he's saying like shit to Kate, like, oh, you should have taken it up the arse so you didn't have a kid. And, they're all like bringing up Kate's kid and saying all sorts of terrible shit. And Pat Ford goes, oh, I love this Rudy guy. He's a great guy. Love him. And I'm like, Ford, at some stage, like, if that was your, like, if one of your females in your life was in that space and having that shit said to her, at the end of it, would you go, I love this guy, Rudy. He's fantastic. Like, he's just sometimes a heinous piece of shit, Ford. He needs to get his shit together. He will tell you he's depraved. I mean, he's a recovering addict. I mean, there's all sorts of shit.
Yeah. So, we could unpack Pat Ford, but I think that he is absolutely a shit stirrer. He would turn on his possibly own children at any point. He's on Ozempic, and I think it really is turning him into a creature that not many will enjoy. Will he? Kirk's done with him, right? Kirk said, get out. I think that Pat Ford has made some choices, and those choices will stay with him forever. Loyalty is everything he has done.
Well, very well said. And I just will say, I love shit stirring in the KMS community, but there are levels. Like at some point you've got to draw a line at when it creeps over from, being fun shit stirring to actually not being
harm and chaos and, a potential sexual harassment and claims. He's never done that to me. I will say I have been marked safe from a Patrick Ford dick pic, but, who else has really felt the wrath? I don't know.
All right, well said. I think we'll leave it there. Okay, going to get into listener questions. Last chance, Kim. Anything you want to talk about? Show related. Favorite. Oh, where are you on Blind Mike? Because Kate said she didn't like him. Where are you on Blind Mike?
Okay, so that's interesting because she's new. Yeah, when I first saw Blind Mike, it was the January episode of, I think, 2024, whatever. Cully was in as third chair. Okay. So he wasn't producing, and I didn't get it. I didn't get Blind Mike. 3 months in, I'm like, that's my guy. You know what I mean? So I love Blind Mike now, and I wish him all the best. I hope that I know that we'll see him and everything, but it's like, it's the end of an era, right? Because he is going to be, he is in Western Mass and he is doing all life things now. And I know he has the Blind Mike project, but he brought such an interesting, dynamic, him with Kirk. It was the best, in my opinion, of and even Mutt couldn't do what Blind Mike does, in my opinion. It's a whole different show when you do a Mutt dynamic versus a Blind Mike dynamic. And I have missed it in the last, couple of weeks. And I just notice him being gone, and that's it.
Yeah, well, everyone made fun of me for saying that we would notice when he was gone, but his absence is strongly felt.
Yeah.
And my big, and I've said this a number of times, I just think the Kirk and Blind Mike dynamic is the funniest combo that Kirk is ever, because he and Mike riff off each other better than any other duo that anyone else that Kirk brings in. No one can riff like Blind Mike can with him. And, they've been doing it for years, and it is just the number one combination. And, I miss him too. All right. Anything else? Happy for me to get to listen to questions. Any show takes you want to get off your chest?
Do I have any show takes that I want to get off my chest? Kevin from, wait a minute, I have to do the Kevin from Bristol with the, this was magic. Last 30 minutes of that show with Mama Kay and Kevin from Bristol changed my life. The DNA in me changed because, again, you remember, I'm a registered nurse. So this shit and the mental health stuff, I'm like, woo, I like live for it. And him discussing the babysitter and the vacuuming and the oral sex that moved to, regular sex at the, in the ages it was, and him coming to the realization live on air, you were abused, and God love him. It was some of the most compelling. When I tell you I could not look away, I said, oh, what are we doing? And I would have loved to go for another 3 hours. It was sick. And that says something about me. And I love Kevin from Bristol. He wore his knee brace when he went to Saco, and he is just a real gem.
I love Kevin. I can't believe he was banned from the show for like 5 years. I had to basically bring him back by trying to book him as a third chair when I was third chair booker. He wasn't in for 5 years. And actually, you make a really good point. If I'm Justin or Cullinane, I would want to get Kevin in again soon to dig a bit deeper into the babysitter.
Incredible.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's get into listener questions.
Listeners' questions.
Portly Clyde. This is a question for both of you. Can you each share an example of how Dave has already disappointed you this week? Wow. Okay. It's a good word. A lot. He's disappointed me a lot. He's no shows, but I'm just going to say everyone was, that clip of him not being able to guess, maybe like a few years ago I'd have found that funny, but now I just don't find it funny because he's an idiot, because he can't even say guess properly. So that's my answer. Clyde, what about you, Kim?
Well, as usual, Cully does not stick up for me in any situation, and I was in a little bit of a battle royale for my life on the Twitter this week, and he was in our DMs in our chat and talking tough back there, but where was the public support, Cullinane?
Yeah, well, I told you 20 minutes ago he was a snake, so
he is not. He just can't do it. He gets afraid. He's afraid.
Okay, propaganda. Does Kim regret becoming a Minifan?
No. Fuck you. Who said that?
Propaganda.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, spread your propaganda somewhere else, you whore.
Tommy Quinlan, what famous murder case would you cover? I gather this is for you.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the Karen Reed case. No. What's next? Kelsey Fitzsimmons is a case out of the Commonwealth in Andover. A police officer that was shot by another police officer in her home, and she is currently incarcerated, and it's a fucking shit show. Okay, well, head to Nurse Kim's YouTube channel to follow that one. Dava from Hull, and I don't like this question. Will Karen Reed kill again? Karen Reed never killed. So thank you.
Patrick, I guess this is for me. Are you happy for Mutt, and are you taller than Mutt?
Oh,
it's a really good question. I am happy for Mutt. I do like seeing him suffer and fail, but I'm happy he's got a job. Am I taller than Mutt? I think we're about the same height. It was interesting when the fat guy came in who was doing the Red Sox covering. Can't remember his name now, but he was a huge guy. Like, he was so tall and Mutt's tiny. Mutt's a really tiny guy. But I think we're about the same height.
I've never met him IRL, so I don't know. I think he's like 5'7", I think Montante said, or something.
Yeah. But you are fun. You're happy for Mutt, so we know that.
So
Caitlin O'Hara, are you going to the Christmas event? It's a fun area to dine and gather after. I won't be, obviously, but Kim, will you go to Plymouth if they do it?
if they do it, I will try. Like, of course, December is like a wicked busy month, but if I can be there, I am going to be there.
Yeah, I think it could be a real fizzer if they do it, just for literally what you just said, like 5 days before Christmas. Pretty hard to take the whole day off and drive down to Plymouth.
Yeah. And I'm the North Shore. I'm so North Shore that would take me like almost 2 hours. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Denver, are they real?
You'll never know.
Okay, good answer. Dr. Joe Viper, will you get a restraining order on Jake?
Who?
Good answer. All right, so let's listen to questions. They weren't particularly strong, I got to say, Kim, and I don't think, as I said to you at the top, I think that's because, like, in the spaces, like say there's 80 Minifans who are in spaces, come in and out. Everyone knows you really well.
Mm-hmm.
I said the rest, the other 100,000 have just heard, this cunt Kim, and that, unless they're into true crime, they have no idea who you are. So.
Well, hopefully after, they see that I'm an actual Minifan, that I don't just play one, and I don't need anything from you. You don't need to watch me. You don't need to do anything. But if you see me in the streets of Twitter, or if you see anything and you want to say hi, hey, what's up? Good.
Absolutely. And look, whenever someone comes on Minifandom, it always goes well for them. Like, they come out of it. People are like them more. Things are never taken out of context
for me, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. So we end every Minifandom with, and I didn't tell you this, so I'll do mine first, and maybe you'll think of a couple. But it's a pop culture segment where we give recommendations to the Minifans, and it's in tribute to my former co-hosts, Red, his dead parents. They both died while we were doing the show together, and now Red is dead in my eyes. But in memoriam to all three of them, this segment is dedicated to them. So I saw One Battle After Another at the movies with Leo a few days ago. Really liked it. People saying movie of the year. I need to see it again to really assess, but absolutely a movie worth seeing, and one you should see at the movies. I am watching two shows, Platonic and Slow Horses. So Platonic is on Apple TV. Like Whitney, I'm a big Apple TV guy, and that's got Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen. Rose Byrne and I went to the same acting school when we were kids. One of us has gone on to do amazing things, and Rose has had a good career too. Slow Horses is another show on Apple TV. It is the best spy action show going around. I think this is the 4th or 5th season. If you haven't watched Slow Horses, Apple TV is worth it just for that show. Gary Oldman is incredible. And finally, I know Darren Cunningham, and there's a lot of guys who watch the show who are big James Bond fans. So GoldenEye, it's the 30-year anniversary, and they showed it on the big screen last week in Sydney. So I went with a friend and I saw, Pierce Brosnan and GoldenEye on the big screen for the first time in 30 years. And it was, I would say, almost a religious experience. And I went to bed that night dreaming of James Bond, not in a gay way, as I told my friend, but, more in like a spy video game type
way. Yeah.
Like in a video game type way. And so that's my pop culture roundup. When you're not solving crime, when you're not in spaces, when you're not saving lives, what do you watch or listen to?
Yeah, so that's incredible that you ask me, Menners, because The Unknown Number is a new crime, or not like it's a documentary that came out, and it is only, I think, a 2-part. And where is it on? Netflix. Okay. you need to watch this. Watch it. If you thought that there were twists and turns in a psychological thriller of something that actually happened, a mother, a daughter, and a relationship that you will never see coming and ending the way it does, watch it immediately. Also, Charlie Sheen, that little documentary that he did, I am obsessed with it. I don't know what platform it is on. I could not tell you, but to see Denise Richards, to see him, to talk about his homosexuality, that, well, dabbling because of crack, right? Crack makes you suck dick. I mean, there are things that you...
That's what happened to memes.
And there are, you never know where you could go. And tiger blood and semen. And now, what else do I know? I don't know of anything else that's coming out or that I am aware of.
That's fine. That's good. Yeah. 2 good recommendations. Thank you.
Great.
I appreciate it because I didn't give you any warning on that.
No, you didn't.
My fault. Well, thanks for joining me on Minifandom. It has been wonderful to talk to you. You are, a delight, a star, one of the best Minifans going around. And, it's great to finally get you on the show. I feel like complete. I've hit completion now that you've come on the show. And just right, everybody out.
Don't bust your load, Benners, okay? Because you and I have always, we have always danced and tangoed together. And to get to do this was an absolute, a joy for me. So I appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, listeners, viewers, Minifandom will be back. I'll get another one in lined up soon. And where can the listeners find your channel?
At Real Nurse Kim.
At Real Nurse Kim. All right. Go and find it out because everybody loves true crime. That's what amazes me about doing. So I've actually done a couple of true crime podcasts and, everybody loves true crime. Sexes, demographics. It's a monster. So sure a lot of Minifans are into it. Good luck. Bye-bye.
Bye, Manners.
Looking for things that were said by Big Steve. Steve made some comments about his own family. He erased it 'cause it made Ben angry. He got fucked by a man down under. With missing audio, yup, discover. Too happy to reveal Steve's blunder. He enjoyed blowing Steve's cover.
This guy is prolific, Jesus.
Oh yeah, quick. Kirk handed Steve a suspension. Got a lot of grief for it in his mentions. Steve could have gotten off easy. Just done like Blind Mike and said he needed therapy. Oh, he got fucked by a man down under. Who thinks Steve's a motherfucker? Called him out as a show scrubber. He wants Steve replaced by another. I heard some news today. An Australian man was found slain.